What's going on, fantasy owners? Welcome back to another episode of the Eye Test. I'm here with co-host Paul Orlando, and today we're going to grade the Brandin Cooks trade to the Cowboys. But first, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. That way you can get notified when we come out with more content like this. And go ahead and comment, do you like the Brandin Cooks trade? Do you think it's good for the Cowboys? Do you think it's good for Brandin Cooks? We're going to go over that right now with Paul's take on this. Paul, what would you grade Brandin Cooks to the Cowboys?
Dude, I'm giving it an A. I'm giving it an A. I think it was one of the sneakier, better moves made this offseason to acquire Brandin Cooks. I mean, let's not forget, up until last year, Brandin Cooks had 1,000 yards for 6 years in a row. And a lot of that was with mediocre to below average quarterback play. And now he comes to, I know you hate to admit it, John, but the Cowboys offense is potent. You have to admit that it is a potent offense. And now this takes some pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. I don't even think this move works against CeeDee Lamb. Lamb will still be the number one option in Dallas for Dak Prescott. But they were throwing to guys like Noah Brown and Michael Gallup, and these guys just did not pass the eye test for me as a wide receiver too. So the Cowboys said, screw it. Let's go get Dak some good outside help on both sides of the hash marks. And I think Brandin Cooks is going to come in and play very, very well. The reason I'm not giving this an A+, the reason I'm giving it is just an A, is because I think that his fantasy value will stay the same with a little bit of upside of improvement from last year. I do not think that Brandin Cooks is going to be another 1,200-yard receiver as we've seen in the past, but I think he is going to tickle around that 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this an A+. I think it's a very good landing spot for him. This is probably the best quarterback he's ever had.
Yeah, Tom
he did
Brady.
have Tom Brady. Yeah, that's right. So I take that back. This is the second best quarterback that he's ever had. And
I think he had Drew Brees too.
Okay, third best quarterback that he's ever had. You're right, I forgot. Jesus Christ, he's been on so many teams, dude. He's been on he's like the Shaquille O'Neal of the NFL.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's got a great quarterback, much better than recent years. And he's the second best wide receiver on this team, on a pass heavy team as well, especially now that Zeke is done and over with. They're going to be really focusing on the passing games here. Dalton Schultz is out of the equation, so a lot of the targets are going to go to CeeDee and Brandin Cooks. And I don't think it's going to be that hard to top 700 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's still only 29. He came into the NFL at a very young age. He has a ton of experience of mastering different playbooks. So I think that he has a whole offseason to understand the Cowboys scheme and how that works. And I also just think that it's an excellent move. I hate to say this, by the Cowboys. I think they're finally realizing that they have some serious competition with the Eagles and that they have to make these splashes. Brandin Cooks is one of those splashes. They certainly made a lot of splashes on the defense, although that has nothing to do with fantasy. I'm going to go ahead and give this grade an A+. Brandin Cooks is someone that you could get sneaky value out of in the late rounds in redraft leagues. And he's someone that you could probably trade like a third-round pick or a second-round pick in a dynasty league and trade that for Brandin Cooks. If you're short on receiver and you have a bunch of draft capital, go ahead and use that on Brandin Cooks, because that is a proven veteran that is on a very high-powered offense, and all you're risking is a second or third-round guy, rookie, that hasn't even proven anything yet. So go ahead and get Brandin Cooks now. He is a buy on my list. You could probably get him at a discount. That's all I got. I love the move for the Cowboys and Brandin Cooks' fantasy value.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. In a dynasty league, go after Brandin Cooks now, because he's not going to be worth a second-round pick after the first couple weeks of the season. I know I have Brandin Cooks in Dynasty, and anybody from our league listening to this, good luck getting him. I am not trading him. I actually almost included him in a package with John.
Yeah.
And luckily they made the move after we already agreed to a trade.
Like hours after.
Yeah. So I am very, very thankful for that. But Brandin Cooks, I think we can all agree, I think it's one of my favorite fantasy, especially fantasy-wise, one of my favorite moves this season.
Yep. So let us know what you guys think about the Brandin Cooks move down in the comments. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and you can also follow along with us on all of our other social media accounts that are listed in the description below. Paul, awesome job grading the Brandin Cooks trade. Tomorrow we will be back grading David Montgomery to the Lions. And also, we're going to do a little special edition grading too for someone else on the Lions. Stay tuned tomorrow, and we will see you then. Peace.